Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, perhaps. Thank you very much for joining us for yet another episode of the WPG Academy 2025. We are very honoured to have Kai Strobel with us. Kai, thank you for coming back once again. You're a firm favourite here at WPG, so thank you.
Yes, Tim, pleasure. Thank you for the invitation once more.
Yeah, and we were just commenting backstage with your glamorous backdrop you've got there.
Fantastic. Look. In the hotel lobby.
This is Kai's new house, everyone. So
yeah, I earned it.
All right, so we are going to start this evening's proceeds with a trip to South America. We're going to start with Kai Strobel. Kai Strobel, are you there? He's dropped off now as well. Let's just have a chat. So
That's okay.
Tell us what have you been up to recently?
I'm right now in Austria on the Grafenek Academy Festival. So we're rehearsing this week and we have the concert starting next. So we started section rehearsals. Fantastic. The second Berlin concerto of Wiedmann we rehearse. So our heads are full of information and acoustics because we're practicing in the castle. So it's very loud, but great. It's a fantastic festival. So percussionists being interested, please apply for next edition of the Grafenek Summer Academy as well.
Cool. That sounds great. And then you're off to China.
And then I'm off to China, first Croatia. We have the competition in Zagreb, and then end of July it's China festival, Jian Li Percussion Festival. So July is comparatively dense this year. But it's nice. It's good.
Loads of people that I'm speaking to, all of these coaches seem to be that the holiday time is not a holiday.
It doesn't look like, no. So maybe in August after September, something like this. But it's great having the time for the projects, in the summer, and during the year it's difficult.
Yeah. All right, Garcia, let's go back to you. We've had a few technical issues with the computer just before we went live. Hello, are you there? No, we can't hear you. The gremlins are out again.
It's always fantastic.
All right, Kai Strobel, are you there? Oh, let's try this one. Hello.
Now?
Yes. Hello.
Okay. Yeah.
Good evening, ciao, Louis.
Now with the phone, so there shouldn't be any problem.
Okay, good. Just make sure you talk nice and loud because you're quite quiet. So. Okay, great. Let's start. We're going to start with some Zaffa, if that's all right with you.
Yeah.
Great.
And we probably won't play the whole thing, but Kai, if you want to just stop me in your tracks when you're ready, and we'll go from there. All right, here we go.
Good. I had to cut now in between because, of course, it's a very long piece, so we have
Yeah.
more time to talk, which would be, of course, fantastic. Good. I like what I hear. I like what I see.
Thank you.
You're very expressive, right? You have a clear idea. I also hear that the set, what you have, is worked out. So you have the drums, you have the wooden higher pitch
Mhm.
sound, you have the polyblock, you have the um, how's it in English? The low drums with a different skin. So the qualities are changing. So it's nice to have this system, and this is something to talk about. This is good.
Okay.
Despite some small things, what I see also and what I hear from the scores is the first 5 against 4. Be always clear and secure about Xenakis being, of course, very metrical, very
Yeah.
mathematic, obviously, in his way of composition.
Okay.
Okay. So take care to really have a metrical approach in such elements, right? There's a strong reason why he wants 5 in 4 beats, not 6, not 4. He wants to create unsteadiness based on a very strong architecture. The frame is very set, right? And as
Okay.
we all know, the way how it's written down is far away from any conventional way of doing it. So it's a architecture, literally, right?
Okay.
And the rhythm is one of the guidelines. The pulse, the small
Yeah,
chunks
that
are
also. Yeah.
indication. Yes. So just be very specific in that sense. Yes.
Okay.
The most interesting part is, of course, the sounds, because it's absolutely deliberate. It's your freedom, and this is why I love this piece in general, because it gives you that huge range of individuality, right? You have all these different sound possibilities. I heard it 1,000 times on a lot of metal sounds, a lot of wood. Personally, I have to say I like the idea of having the wood in the high register more, as you also did it, because it gives you this strong traditional context of what percussion is, where it comes from, and this together with a high pitch, together with a strong articulation, which is, I think, most important in this piece, to have sounds which match together, right? So
Yeah.
having a
Okay.
high wood is, I think, a very good idea, high wooden sounds in the high register. But and now this is the interesting part, you have to keep them in balance. So as far as I can judge, of course, now listening to it in an audio, which is on the left side
Yeah.
player's perspective, the sounds of the wood of the blocks was too thin. And I
Yeah.
think, yeah, am I right or am I
When I
wrong?
was listening, yeah, when I was listening, I was like, oh, this wood. And sometimes you can't even listen the wood because of all the tones and the conga and all of that. And I was like, shit. But
Yeah, it's a pity. It's a pity. And the pitches, in fact, are great. The pitches work. But if you
Mhm.
find maybe material which has a bit more density, more volume to the
Okay,
striking procedure, this would be fantastic. And it's in the end just going back to the workshop and sawing the
I'm
right, yeah, I
finding,
mean,
yeah,
literally, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But this would be worth investing to really go these three notes to the full extent, because it gives you a musical understanding, it gives you a harmonical understanding, in fact. And this is nice to implement it based on then having drums. You also used natural heads, right, in the congas
Yeah,
and bongos?
yeah.
Good, very nice. Also, you tuned the bongo highs. I like having the range, because what you also in fact did well is you created a range from very low drums to very high tuned pitch drums. So this is
Okay,
just about the percussion instruments. So this is good. Keep in mind that the plastic skins react, of course, different. Sometimes when you play conga, we have to push because we have this buffalo heads, probably the same, what as much as I heard, is that you have heavy, not hard-picked conga ones, but very thicker ones. So you have to push. It's what you did. It's why it worked. However, when you get now to the tom section,
yeah.
uh, where you have the thin oils, plastic skins, it gets a bit tricky there. It is always the question, what is your ultimate sound, right? I'm a big fan of natural skin because it gives a warm sound. You can, based on what animal you slaughtered and put on, you have different qualities. If you have goat, it's very thick and you can push. In fact, you have to, but it's still not very articulated. What I personally have is calfo, but not split, not for the timpani, but I have calfo, a thicker measurement on the toms. They're articulated and they have a lot of resonance, so you can push a lot. I, in fact, play a lot of Xenakis just on natural heads on those ones.
Okay,
And this would be a suggestion also to you, in fact. If you manage to you will still separate the congas, for example, to the toms and to the bass drum, in fact. But if you would manage this real to the body sound, which we just get with natural heads, because they're just thicker in its composition, right? Instead of just having
mhm.
thin layer of plastic. And this is why it was for me too percussive. It screams too much. It gets this slap sound, rather this
This
full
heavy sound.
bodied.
Okay,
Exactly. And this is like, again, it's just a question where you come, where you want it to go. But personally, what I always love in drums is if you already have the requirement from the composer, which means a low composition, right? A low texture. When you translate it into low drums, then I want to have a low sound and not the biggest attack. Or then,
okay,
this is also why you did it with two mallets, you can artificially create it, right?
yeah,
But this is why the composition itself, how you managed, was good, but the bass was too much of a slap for me.
Okay, I will
Yeah.
correct. I will check. Yeah, yeah,
Research. It's again, it's not necessarily about being correct or right or wrong, right? But it's a fantastic piece which gives you a lot of freedom, in fact. And it is worth really being 100% sure of finding and yeah, therefore
yeah,
researching your own set. This is the magic in the end of set. And I say it actually often to our academy, which we had 2 weeks ago. I said the same, for example, that especially in setup, we have
yeah,
the chance to be as individual as basically no other instrumentalist. Because you have to choose very individually as in no other piece. Keyboards, impossible. Your size of the drum, your stick material, your heads, your composition of the different materials together. This is so
yeah,
individual, and this is in the end, personally, really the magic of multi-percussion. This is so individual. So this is why it's always so nice to see also like your interpretation that you have a strong intent and you established your own rules. And I can just encourage you, in fact, to continue
yeah.
researching. Don't stop where you are, right? It's always about
Uh,
finding better material and getting more into it. And this is good. And especially, for example, coming back to interpretation now, also the way how you play it, you have a very strong pulse, which is required for such music. You're comparatively stable on what is an accent, non-accent, all this falling in. What we need,
yeah,
especially in Psafa, is good. It's working. Um, and then is the question what to do with the stopping elements, right? We have a long way, we had a long way until this point. Just horizontal lines and musical two lines parallelly, and then suddenly we have the strong bass notes, the high pitch sound coming. And it's always the question what to do with them. Are we stiff? Are we? This is just interpretatorical a question of what to do with it. And I think also there you can play with it because even there the passage is comparatively long,
yeah.
and you have to see if doing less, in fact, is stronger. So it's really very intense on just one motion, one motion. You keep the
Um,
pressure and the attention to the public, or you move, you breathe, you move, you breathe. It creates different intensities, right? And I think this could be also something for you to just be, yeah, try out what works for you. Try out what works for you. If it appears static, but for the whole part, therefore very strong, because the public always awaits something to happen again and it's happening, but you dictate it when it happens. So sometimes this is why personally I'm a big fan of saying less is more, because
yeah,
always we tend to percussion is a very active instrument.
yeah,
And if we create a simple but very specific intention for just one stroke, just one movement for one note, personally, I always say there's nothing more magical because it gives all the focus just on this one single action. This is strong, right?
okay, yeah, yeah. Okay. I mean,
And
yeah. I
again,
think
yeah,
maybe because I'm very nervous, and that was my final exam in the career, and I was like finishing, and I I can't be quite stopped, so I'm just like
okay.
moving on. But I think I need to be more calm and rest, and yeah,
Oh, not.
maybe,
I would not say that to you. In fact, this alert mode is a great character. So what you present on stage is fantastic. But in fact, it's just a interpretation of where finding different qualities also for yourself. If you say, for example, you finish studies and you're by yourself, you have to be your own teacher, right? So you have to again stimulate and find different ways by yourself because nobody else is telling you what to do at this point. And
okay.
such pieces are a perfect chance to research individually, right? Because
Hmm.
it's comparatively free in its in its guideline what to do with the sounds, what to do with the intention. There is no characteristic written down. It's up to the performer. And in the end, this is the freedom which you have to surf on. This is your wave to surf on, to research and continue researching. Even if you had one fantastic interpretation, continue and find the sounds. The polyblock, coming to that one.
Yeah.
The polyblock is not the most charming choice, I have to say.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of like the best sound we had in my music school, but
Okay.
and I also failed to hit the good block in the exact position 2 times, and it was sounded horrible. But I I spent 2 days hitting some woodblocks to see which pitch I was more comfortable, and this was like the most close to what I wanted.
Yeah. But in fact, this is also something with all this pure wooden context which you created before, is you have to find, again, personally speaking, because the composition is not telling you what to do,
Hmm.
you have to find the extremes, right? You have the lowest notation and the highest notation. So what he wants is the extreme, right? You can reach this with intensity or with the pitch, with the tuning of the medium you hit. The plastic is always a problem because it gets damp. It sounds pressed, right? It doesn't really
Yeah.
get the sparkles. You can also choose to go on metal, for example. If you really want to get as extreme as possible, make it extreme, right? So there's just suggestions at this point. But as much as if you manage like sounds which resonate, which are light, which are resonant, right? Then you have personally everything right. So just continue researching. This
Yeah.
is all
I
I can
will.
tell you. This is fantastic.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, I will.
Yes.
I will be always looking for new things and trying new things. So
Good to hear. Tim, you're muted, but you applaud, so applaud as well.
I thought I was. And I was like, am I? Well done, congratulations.
Yes.
thank you.
I'm in
Thank you very much.
shocker tonight. Wow. Okay, good. Nice job. Well done. We're going to go to Venezuela now. Luis Rojas. Just so you know, Kai, Luis has a translator.
All right, then hello to both.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for translating as well.
Okay, it's a pleasure to be here as well. Thank you.
So, would you mind just asking Luis to say a little bit about himself and what he's going to present?
Ok, soy Luis Rojas, soy percusionista. Actualmente estoy en la Orquesta Sinfónica Nueva Zelanda y me encuentro realizando mi estudio de percusión aquí en Caracas.
So, hello, I'm Luis. Right now, I'm a percussionist. I am a member of the Juan José Landaeta Symphonic Orchestra of Venezuela. And right now, I am studying in the Simón Bolívar Music Conservatory here in the Classical Percussion Campus.
Y lo que voy a presentar el día de hoy serán extractos del primer movimiento. Bueno, sí, primer movimiento del concierto de Manuel Soyunay.
So, I will be presenting excerpts from the first movement of the Sejourné concert for marimba and strings.
All right.
All right.
Let's have a listen. Okay. Lewis, could you see the performance there?
Poquito más nada.
We could see a little bit, but then it was like it froze. The video was
Okay,
frozen.
yeah, I think
so
there's
we
a
didn't
problem with the
see a lot of it.
formatting of the file. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a few minutes time out. Kai, if you go to the spreadsheet, you can just watch from the link. You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I tried. It's I think this one is with the Dropbox, and I don't have Dropbox. I have 1,000 applications. I will try though.